Hello and welcome to the Leverage Podcast. I'm Paul Richard, your host, and we have another special guest today with us, Lila Roberts. She is an herbalist, and she and I have met through several of our networking events. I guess we've seen each other, get to know each other a little bit better. But Lila, welcome to the podcast today.
Hi. Thanks for
Hi.
having me.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Are you in Springfield today?
Yes, I sure am. I'm in my apartment in Springfield.
Ah, fantastic. Okay, well, great. Well, give us a little background on you, Lila, as far as, what's your background and how did you get into this herbalist business in the first place?
Actually, back in 1992, I was married to a chiropractor. I was working with him in his office, and a patient came in with a whole lot of herbs, and this was really new to me. And I got very, very interested in it, and I chose to study some iridology, and I went on with that for a while, and then I actually put together a store in my husband's chiropractic office. And I was studying the gut back in 40 years ago. So now I'm doing the gut again. And it's like everybody's
It's an
catching
important
on
thing.
now.
That's an important thing. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And so just through the years, I went to massage therapy school, and I've done massage in the past basically, and now I just really like helping people with herbs. I got into muscle testing back in early 2000. I started teaching these certified herbalist courses in my husband's office, and I had so many people out there in Marshall that were so interested. And from there, my husband died, and so I came up here to Springfield and just continued on with my herbal business. And now I don't have a doctor referring me to patients, so I'm on my own helping people get well with herbs and educating. I
So you mentioned some kind of ology. What was that? I'm not even sure I recognize that. What was
Iridology.
that?
Well,
What is
iridology was
that?
discovered back in the 1800s by a young lad, Von Paisley. He captured an owl in the garden, and through capturing it, he broke the owl's leg, and he noticed a black line to form at 6 o'clock in the eye. So from there, he bandaged the owl, he brought it back to new, and he noticed that the black line turned white. So from there, this was given to some German iridologist, at physicians at the time, and in the 1800s, and German iridology arose, and then in this country, Bernard Jensen took over in the 1920s, 30s, and American iridology is basically all Bernard Jensen. Most of your books around here, and what you learn is you look in the eye for inherited weaknesses in the body. So I use it as a tool to look in the eye. I can see instantly a lot of things that will be going on in the gut and different areas of the body. It just helps me understand how to help you. And
Well,
I
that's fascinating. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's a cool profession. It's very intense. It's very, very time consuming iridologist. So I just use it as a tool. People will,
That's awesome.
yeah.
It's this whole area of naturopathic health is so fascinating, and there's so many different areas of study and areas of expertise that you can have, and so many options for solutions, honestly. And so in this area, I'm thinking about this, like you mentioned herbs, obviously, you've talked about gut health, you've talked about diet. There seems to be always a fad going on about something, which sometimes is good. Sometimes it can be a little bit misleading. And then, you've got the whole Chinese medicine area as well, which includes herbs in a lot of areas as well. And then you've got, like you mentioned, chiropractic as another area. You've got different types of wave. I watched a video today about the Rife machine, RIFE machine, about certain waveforms or certain frequencies will affect the body in a positive way, or get rid of certain things in the body that you don't want. So there's just so many areas to talk about, and maybe we start actually with something that's been recent with you, and that is this whole Mediterranean diet that you've been both promoting and actually being a part of that. Can you go back and talk to me about how did you get involved in this Mediterranean diet? What is it? How does it work? And then talk about your success story in that as well, please.
Okay. Well, it was this time last year. It was June. I kept dieting, and I kept falling off. I couldn't find something. So I sat down one day and I looked through about 5 different diets. Keto was one of them, and the gut diet, which I kind of do follow, but I looked at all these different diets and I saw the Mediterranean diet was so good for you. And it's all over Facebook, and I thought, boy, I love these foods. So I just started to I lived on Mediterranean food. What I did was I eat protein for breakfast, and I eat big Greek salads for lunch. In the olive oil, there's something about olive oil that just it creates that GLP-1 hormone that helps you stay full and satisfied, and it just does something to it's anti-inflammatory. That's one of the reasons why I love the Mediterranean diet. It's an anti-inflammatory diet. So you follow that diet. I lowered my A1C 5 points in 4 months, and I lowered my cholesterol by a few points, but it wasn't that high to begin with. And I went through a healing crisis in the beginning. I'll warn you, you better take some antioxidants. If you just totally get off sugar and you start eating this way, you'll feel amazing. It's a great diet. I don't think I'm ever going to go off of it. At least I try. Try to stay
Yeah,
on.
absolutely.
So I
So can you break down some of the foods that are in the Mediterranean diet so that people know what you're talking about?
Okay. Well, a typical breakfast would be a couple scrambled eggs, some a wheat toast, or I eat a lot of seeds. So maybe a handful of almonds or walnuts are good. And for snack, I'll have maybe a cup of yogurt, like 2 or 3 hours later. I like to keep the body at a balance on blood sugar. I always have fruit around. I don't go hungry. If I'm hungry, I eat fruit. I eat maybe some cottage cheese in the middle of the day to get me through for my next meal. And then lunchtime, you just eat big Greek salads with, black olives, cucumbers, tomatoes, red onion, feta cheese. That's your 5 basic foods. Well, we'll put some beans in there with it. And that's another thing. Have some beans, always like a half a cup of beans around. Always be keeping your body at a level, a blood sugar level, so you don't go hungry. And then at dinner, salmon. You don't have to eat fish all the time. You can eat chicken. I'm not a big fish eater, and I lost 50 pounds. So you can eat chicken, you want to limit the saturated fat, and you want to limit the sugar. Those are the two bad ones, saturated fat and sugar. And stay away from the fast food places. Carry food
Right.
with you. That's what I learned. I had to carry food. That's the big secret. And I have these classes, and I continue to do this Mediterranean diet. I mean, if somebody wants to come to me and lose some weight, I have herbal products that The berberine creates a GLP-1 hormone, and then the probiotic encourages the body to produce good microbiome. There's a lot of herbs, and now I'm studying the thyroid, and you could boost that thyroid with some herbs, feed that thyroid with some good iodine, and just fill the body up with a bunch of nutrition. You say diet, I say nutrition.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my journey's been this last, I guess, 5 months is to, what worked for me was to go carnivore. And the reason for that was I ordered the frozen grass-fed beef. It's delivered to my house. I throw it into the Ninja, either out on the grill or in the Ninja in the house, and I cook it for the next day. And it just kind of simplified, because if I go to Aldi, which is my favorite grocery store, I'll pick up a bag of chips and I'll pick up something else, and I won't keep to it. So this way keeps me out of the impulse shopping mode, and then I can just work out of the freezer, which is fine with me, and they send me chicken and they send me some bacon, etc. And then I buy the what I would call free range eggs at Costco, and I stock up on those. Usually I get 6 dozen of those, like you. I love eating the eggs, and if I have that hunger pang come up, I do that, and I noticed the same thing. I noticed that my inflammation went down, my joints felt better, I didn't feel bloated, and so a lot of benefits. It takes a while for your body to adjust, doesn't it?
Yeah,
When you
that's
go
what I
into it.
noticed. And after
Yeah.
when you adjust, it's a comfortable feeling. I mean,
Yes.
eating that bad food, it's just you don't feel good. You don't I don't feel good when I eat bad food. And it just
It
takes a lot of
yes,
discipline. Yeah, it does. But you
it
can do
does.
it.
And those, you can do it because those carbs drive your hunger, right? So as soon as you eat
Hmm.
them, the blood sugar spikes, insulin spikes, blood sugar dives, then you're hungry again, right?
Right. Right.
So it's that cycle that you get out of that cycle. And part of it is too, you really brought it up to my attention here, is that as you're releasing fat, which your fat conceals some of the toxins that you've taken into your body, those tend to come back out. And sometimes it's worse coming out than it was going in.
Yeah.
And so you have to be aware and understand that there's going to be a price to pay for
Mhm.
this. And you mentioned there's a lifestyle change. I generally carry like grass-fed beef sticks with me in my backpack and that kind of thing. And then I also carry, those little foil packets of wild caught tuna that they have now.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so they're very flat, and it's like, I don't know, 2.5 ounces or something of
Hmm.
tuna. And so, they're easy to carry around. They don't give you the best breath, but okay. So I'll take a breath mint with me as well. But so I have a little spoon in my backpack, and I'll just take a little bit of the tuna. It's enough to satisfy me there for the next couple of hours to make it through the rest of the day, and do the things I need to do, etc. Because otherwise, what are you going to do? You're going to drive through the fast food place, and you're going to really regret that you did that, because you're going to start falling asleep in an hour or so, right? From all that, and the seed oils, of course, are very inflammatory, etc. So, so that's great. So the Mediterranean diet. Do you have any Mediterranean diet trainings, seminars? Are you launching any new programs coming up with that? I know you had several events you were working on. Do you have anything coming up anytime soon?
Well, what I've got going right now is I've got a class on Tuesday and Thursday night this week for the thyroid, and
Okay.
it'll be understanding the basic of the thyroid and where you can understand it, and then the herbs that will help target the thyroid and boost. 1 out of 5 women will experience thyroid disease in their life. And a lot of people have thyroid problems, and there's a lot of it out there, that osmosis. And so I'm going to do a thyroid class on Tuesday and Thursday. And then next month, I think I'm going to do on the gut, the GLP-1 hormone. There's so many people on that confusion of that GLP-1 hormone. They think it's coming from the doctor, but you get that naturally with certain foods and certain herbs in the way you eat. So that's what I've got coming up. I'm real excited about that next class.
That's fantastic. So you said on Tuesday and Thursday, did I hear you right?
Tuesday
Tuesday
and
and
Thursday
Thursday?
this week. It'll be the 16th and the 18th.
Okay. So Tuesday,
Tomorrow.
is that a webinar? Is that an
It's going to
in-person? What's
be
that?
No, it's going to be at my office in Nixa. And
Oh, okay.
you have to let me know because I have limited seating, and I'm already booking for Thursday. So it'll be 2 nights. It's a free class. It's only an hour. You'll listen to Stephen Horn, and then I will talk about the herbs. Just a short video.
Okay. What's the address of your office
It's
there?
1868 North Deffer in Nixa, Missouri. My
How do you spell Deffer? Deffer?
Deffer.
Okay.
Plug my computer in.
And
Okay.
that's your office. I'm just
Uh-huh.
noting that over here. Is that 65714?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So
65714, yes.
65714. Yeah, okay. So that's your,
So if anybody
excuse
wants
me,
to
that's
come
your
to
office.
any of these classes, Mondays I'm taking, because Mondays when you start a diet. So on Mondays, I will take people for the Mediterranean diet. We can meet on Mondays, and that would be a one-on-one. There won't be no class there. And then on Tuesday and Thursday this week, I'm going to have the thyroid class.
Okay, okay. And so what in that 1 hour they should expect to really have a better understanding of the
Yeah.
thyroid
Yeah.
in that, and then
Yeah.
okay, and then Thursday, is that the same thing, same
So
curriculum?
it'll be the same class. It's for people
Okay.
that couldn't get to the Tuesday
Okay. And what time does it begin?
at 6 o'clock, 6 to
6 o'clock
7,
and
7:30. We'll try
okay.
to be out of there by.
Okay. Okay.
And I do
Fantastic.
give out samples of different products so you can try.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
I also have some smoothies there I can mix up for you in case you're hungry.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And now, so that takes us into the whole herbal area of your work. So how you told us how you got started in the herbs, and then when did you really become an herbalist, if you will? I mean, is that an official certification, or I don't know much about that? How, what, what's the herbalist,
Well,
requirements to do
well, you
that?
can, there's several things you can do. You can study herbs through Nature Sunshine, and you can become
Okay.
certified and with Nature Sunshine.
Okay.
And then to get more extent knowledge, you can go through Trinity. It's a college, and you can become a master herbalist. And then Stephen Horn also has classes. That's who I went through. Stephen Horn has classes
Okay.
online, and I've had some interest in iridology, and so I'm kind of thinking
Yeah.
about putting a class together for iridology so people can get an idea. Because you can look in people's eye, you can look in the eye and instant see lymphatic congestion. Instantly. It's easy. And it's a blue eye person problem. That's just getting
Is
into
it
it.
really?
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
lymphatic, yes. Blue
Hmm.
eyes, lymphatic.
How interesting.
Yeah, it's real interesting
Yeah.
stuff. It's amazing stuff. You can see inherited weaknesses. So see what body organ you might want to work on. If you've inherited a heart problems, you definitely want maybe take some hawthorn, capsicum, or some herbs. There's a lot of herbs for the heart. A lot of herbs for the heart.
That's amazing. Now, okay, so Trinity, there's through Nature's Sunshine. Now, are you a like dealer for them, or
I
what's their structure as far as that goes?
I think I'm right. They changed everything. They changed our names and stuff. I guess I'm a
Oh, they
consultant
did.
this time. Yeah, they did.
Oh,
I was
okay,
a manager forever, and now it's no more managers. I'm a consultant for Nature Sunshine.
okay.
Senior consultant, I think.
Senior consultant.
Yeah,
Okay, well that's all right. Whatever they roll with is fine. And so let's talk about the herbal area and maybe break down what would you say are the top three herbs that you are applying, and what types of ailments and issues are you addressing most commonly? What would be your top three if you could name those?
well, I would say the immune system. That's
Okay.
the number that's going to be the number one. Without a good immune system, you're sick all the time. So the
Mm,
immune system and the gut, those are my two main ones in the colon, because if you don't eliminate, you're not going to lose any weight. And so that's the advantage of coming to see me. I'm going to look at all this like the thyroid. I'm going to muscle test and see what weaknesses I can find in your body and what herb we can supplement for that. Because just like having a thyroid issue, it's going to interfere with weight loss, because I'm all about weight loss because I want to still lose more weight. So, yeah, so if you're having different problems, if you've got a blood sugar problem, berbeриne's your number one answer. Anyone that wants to lose weight needs to be on berberine. Sorry about that.
that's okay. Yeah.
Berberine and a probiotic are your number two herbs that you definitely want to stay on all the time. And you can add different stuff. I'm really partial to the gut and anyone with any kind of pain. I mean, I've got some great herbs to help you with anything pain in the gut. I'm all about the gut, Paul. I
You're
keep going
about to get, well, what percentage of your immune system is in your gut? Do you remember?
70%,
70%. So,
possibly
so,
more.
re-
Yeah.
yeah. So those two things are really codependent, if you will, right? So you heal the
Oh,
gut,
yeah.
you're really working on your immune system. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's heal the gut, heal the body. Heal the gut, heal the thyroid, heal the gut, heal everything. You heal the gut. You'll find things on your body like like sores or just your skin is elimination. So if some toxins can't get out of the body, they're going to come out through the skin. So you'll notice
Right.
on this Mediterranean diet and also paying attention to the gut, eating fermented foods like black olives, sauerkraut, stuff like that. Be always healing the gut, always thinking about healing the gut. That's what you want to do. And you don't want to eat no foods full of, I almost said sex, no foods that are preservatives and all that packaged food. It's not good for you. And your body knows it. It's inflammatory, all that
Absolutely.
stuff. And it affects
Yeah,
different organs in
absolutely.
the body. Like I was just studying chlorine out in the swimming pool causes blocked arteries. Just
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. I mean, just little stuff. I mean, you got to be cleansing your body all the time. The body's set up to cleanse, and so I just try to help encourage it to do that.
Well, that's fantastic. Because I think I mentioned to you, for 2 weeks I was out with this sinus infection, and then I didn't really think about it too much. I went to kind of the route of taking some NyQuil, I guess you'd call it, or something of that nature, and trying to at least get some sleep, because sleep's so important to get those infections, out of the body, because your body needs that time to fight it off and regenerate and that kind of thing. And so I was doing that, and then a friend of mine said, well, hey, you should take some echinacea, right? And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So I tried that, and that did start to knock it out a little bit. I was doing some colloidal silver and that. And then I had mentioned it to Kat, and she said something about this Histoblock product, which I can't remember if I'd heard you guys talk about it in our meetings or not, but can you talk about Histoblock and what happens with that product a little bit? Because I know that's one of your main.
Yes, Histoblock. It has bromelain, quercetin. I can't remember all of. Anyway, what it does is stinging nettles. So stinging nettle, it is a plant, and have you ever brushed up with it and it like sticks you?
Oh,
Well,
yes.
that's histamine that is sticking you with. So what you do is you're actually taking something histamine to block the histamine. So after about 20 minutes, if you're sneezing, running, any action going on, what it does is that you're giving like to like. I mean, it's just you're healing the body with what causes the problem with an herb. It's hard to explain. It's like homeopathic.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
so the quercetin is the histoblock is a great herb to take if you've got action going on, sneezing, watery. So you got a sinus infection. So if you would have corrected all that irritation, you wouldn't have had that fluid buildup. And I also have a product called seasonal allergy. And seasonal allergy, it's got horseradish in it, and it's got mullein for the lungs. It's got some herbs in there that will go in and open this up in the sinuses to help it drain before it gets clogged up in the nose like that. So that's what I would have had you on. And of course, I'd have you snorting silver and
Yes.
and
Yes.
taking echinacea. Echinacea is a fantastic herb for the lymphatic. It's a lymphatic herb, and it's a really
Yeah.
good herb.
This was, it just happened to be something from, it was like derived from Australia or something. And I guess they have to use alcohol to
Yeah,
extract
alcohol. Uh-huh.
is it alkaloids? Is that what it's called? Alkaloids?
The alkaloids, well, the alcohol is what helps break the herb down. So
Oh, I see.
they use 100 proof vodka to
Oh,
mix those. But you can't feel it. You can't feel the vodka.
sure, sure.
You don't feel that.
I knew I had to water it down a little bit to take it, because it was pretty potent. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, that's
In that
good. That
regard.
means it might. Well, Nature's Sunshine in the future has got echinacea in liquid form, and we have the three different echinacea in it: the cone, the leaves, and the root. So
Ah,
it's a very effective herb, and it's in liquid form where your body didn't have to break down the plant fibers, so it works more quickly. That's my
very
opinion.
good. That's cool. That's cool. And so yeah, this whole area of the herbs and treatments with herbs, etc. Are there any like, if somebody comes to you and they've got a myriad of ailments, if you will, and that type thing, a lot of times you have to start with what I would call basically an analysis of what's going on, because recently I talked to somebody, and they've suffered from many different issues, and one of those was actually what I would term Crohn's disease.
Uh-huh.
They just had malabsorption of nutrients, and so sometimes it seemed like in this case you almost had to start there, even though there were other things, because if you can't absorb the nutrients or the herbs that you're giving them, then you're kind of at a dead end, right? I mean, you can't even
Right.
get them into
You
your system.
Well, you'd want to start relaxing that colon. And
Yeah.
so the first thing I'd have them on some aloe vera juice. We have whole leaf aloe vera juice. Aloe vera juice, you know how everybody puts it on sunburns and stuff. It heals the
Yes.
inside of the body too. It's very
Oh,
healing,
wow.
and it works very well. And also herbs like that have combinations of like slippery elm, chamomile, marshmallow, all those mucilagenic herbs that will soothe the area. And so the first
I
thing I
see.
do with Crohn's, I try to start relaxing that colon and maybe even put them on some herbs for relaxation, some B vitamins. So calm it down. That's what you want to do is
Absolutely.
calm it down.
Yeah. So do you have if you're onboarding a new client, do you have kind of a questionnaire or something that you
I do.
have them go through, or how does that part work?
Well, it's a questionnaire. It's about I don't know, 25 questions, and you go through. And if you've ever had a problem, you exit. And if you're having it now, you exit. And then I total all that up, and I can see where the problem by the questions. I can see where the problem is. The main problem. A lot of people have two or three issues going on, which is nothing unusual. Uh, and so
Right.
I just kind of attack the first one. We have to, if we're going to deal with several different issues, a lot of times you can fix one problem and it fixes the next problem because it always goes back to that gut. Crohn's disease,
Yeah.
too. It goes back
Yep.
to the gut. All disease starts with a dysfunctional disease. All disease starts with a dysfunction of the body. Uh, and so to stop disease, if you strengthen the immune system, you won't get disease. That's that is one of the best things about Nature Sunshine. They have taught us that the immune system is so very, very important to keep your body strong. You don't want to get sick.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And then now, how do you handle interactions? Herbs can interact with some allopathic pharmaceutical drugs. How do you and how does Nature Sunshine kind of address those issues, since it could be a little bit of an interaction issue?
Well, Nature Sunshine, leave it to us. And when it comes to that, and what I have found, there is different herbs and the real potent herbs like cayenne pepper, that cayenne pepper moves blood, so it's very effective in the body. And lobelia is a real strong herb, and it's mainly for the respiratory, but it makes other herbs work better. So what I'm trying to say is there's a few herbs out there that you might want to talk to an herbalist or somebody before with a medication, because you don't want it to interfere. But there's not much of it. Herbs are food, and when you eat, your body just throws off what it doesn't want. So it's really
Sure.
not, you don't see much happening with that. I don't I don't run into problems with that, honestly. Anybody ever taken an herb and a drug in all these years, I don't think anybody's ever come to me and had a problem. I'm not saying it might not
Very
exist, definitely. The
sure.
doctors, I mean,
Sure.
I'm not a
Sure.
doctor, so I can't recommend, I don't exactly know, but I have books and I have lots of books, and I have an upline of people that I call if I need help, and they have books and they have upline. And basically
Sure.
everybody I call is a naturopath.
Very good. And okay, so in the herbal realm, are there any herbs that, if we're not addressing, let's say, a specific issue at the time, is there any regiment that you recommend, just like take this daily for the rest of your life kind of thing, or is that even a thing? I don't know. What are your
Okay,
thoughts around that?
that's a very good question, Paul, because okay, omega-3, people don't get enough omega-3 in their diet. So that would be something you probably want to take the rest of your life. It's for your brain and your heart. Omega-3 would be one. Vitamin C, most people get enough vitamin C, but if you're a person and you have a tendency to get sick, then you might want to continuously take echinacea's more taken over, like it's more of an emergency herb. So there's herbs that can strengthen the immune system, like elderberry. You could take that daily. I take that. That's what I take for the rest of my life. And every now and then I'll put something with it. Your immune system, you always want to keep it strong no matter what it takes. In the omega-3 and probiotics, those are the two that I would recommend for people that have healthy diets and don't get sick. And work on the immune system. Always work on the immune system in the gut.
Yes, yes,
That's
I
what I
agree. And
recommend.
um, so is there a what's there's herbs and then there's nutritional supplements, right?
Okay,
Kind of
yep.
the two categories.
Hmm.
And is there any crossover there very often in between the two?
Oh yeah. Um, like with Nature Sunshine, we have, when you look down the order sheet, you have herbs, single herbs, and you have combination herbs, and then you have nutritional supports. Well, they put they'll put like valerian in with B vitamins. I don't believe this phone. They'll put valerian in with B vitamins to make it more effective to calm you down. We have a combination called Nutricom, and that's exactly what they put: the hops, valerian root, and the passion flower in there with all the B vitamins and all the nutritional stuff. So it's a combination, and it's very effective to do that because herbs are food, and food is what the body is used to. So our body react well to food because we eat food for nutrition. We're supposed to be getting our nutrition there, but we know
Yes,
how that goes.
we do. And so, okay, I had another question I was formulating at the moment, but this is so interesting. I was wondering, okay, in the herb world, and well, let me put it this way, in the nutrition world, the farming methods are so important, such as regenerative farming, which basically means, you let the land rest between growing seasons, just like we used to do, and then, or you may put in an alternate crop in that ground during that time, winter wheat or something or whatever, and then to replenish the nutrition in the ground, because if the nutrition isn't in the ground, it's generally not going to make it into the plant, right?
Right, right.
I mean, and the plants do obviously manufacture elements from that. And
Of
so
course.
is there any protocol with Nature Sunshine as far as the herbs are either tested or grown in certain environments that make sure that those nutrients and those healing elements are there?
Oh yeah. Nature Sunshine, they search out the world for the best products. We send scientists over to the supplier of these products. And we had one scientist, she went in and there was no hot water in the area that they picked these herbs. We wouldn't buy from them just because there was no hot water to wash their hands. So Nature Sunshine is very, very particular about this. So like there's several countries like Australia, they're very high in their standards. In New Zealand, our collagen comes out of New Zealand because New Zealand cows, they don't give them antibiotics. So it's a very clean country, and anything that comes out of New Zealand is very high standards. So Nature Sunshine, we get a shipment, a barrel come in, And what happens is we take a scoop of it out and we take it through up to 600 tests. And if it does not test, we send it back. We don't have a lot of problems with this because they know we're going to send it back if it doesn't meet our standards. And what do you think they're doing with them barrels? They're going to sell it to somebody else. And it's just going to go down and down. And so that's where the quality of Nature Sunshine is just fantastic. The company, that's the way they started, and they are very proud about that. Their quality. And that's real important when you're taking an herb. You want to know it's clean, and you want to know it's good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's fantastic. Now, how is Nature Sunshine distributed? I'm guessing that you have the dealership, I think, that you mentioned. And then, so are you, you'd want them to go to your website and place an order, right? And what is that website?
It's Nature Sunshine. You would want to go to my website. It's my NSP Lila Roberts naturesunshine.com.
Very good.
Anyway, sorry about that.
It's okay. So what, are you also looking for distributors or anything like that
yes,
to work with
I
you?
would love to have some distributors, people to do what I do. It's so much more fun to sell this product and help others when you got somebody to do it with. And,
Yes.
I just have a lot of customers and I don't have any consultants, and I'd love to get some consultants. That's why I started this class. I figure I will educate you so you can sell herbs, or just to help your family members or anything like that. You get 25% off and you get free shipping. And with Nature Sunshine, they used to be full network marketing. Now what they've done is they have the consultants here. If you want to be a consultant, it's only $40 to sign up. But if you just want to be a customer, there's no sign up fees. You get straight 25% off and you get free shipping, and you get 2 free shipping a month. And
Nice.
so they've made it very handy, and they've got great products, and they've made it very easy for you to learn about the products. You don't have to go in the stores and get their lousy stuff. I should say that, but you don't know. It's not necessarily lousy. It's just it's not been tested. Like I know mine is. So I'm very pro Nature Sunshine. And there's other good companies out there. I'm not saying there isn't.
Yeah. Absolutely. What do you mind if people call or text you about it as well?
No, give me a call anytime. I'm
What's
always
what's a
ready
good
for a
number for you?
challenge. Huh?
What's a good number for you?
Okay, it's 417-908-5922.
Okay. So 417-908-5922. Call or text Lila and set up, I'm guessing you have a free consultation initially, right?
Sure,
Is that right?
I don't charge. You won't pay.
And so and I'm guessing it doesn't cost people any more to buy them through you than it would be any other way, right? And then you provide the extra service, right?
Yeah, the only thing difference is you're going to get the discount and you're going to get me to help you.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I love that.
Yeah.
And you're a walking example of what it can do for you. So I love that.
Well, thank you.
And yeah. Well, Lila, this has been such a pleasure to have you on the podcast today. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been great learning about, it's been great learning about all the things that you've accomplished and that. And so we encourage our guests to contact you and set up an appointment or just ask questions about their health situation. You're more than willing to help them. So thanks again for being with us.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
See you soon.
See you soon.